How you feeling? How you living? I am G, the seeker of truth. This is spiritual stake, and yes, your spirit is at stake. Now we are in our Bible breakdown here at Spiritual Stake. Before we just go into it, let's just take a moment to clear our minds, to brush off all that negative energy, to brush off the day. All right. Like I say, we're in our Bible breakdown. We are in the book of Leviticus. We are in the 4th chapter. A quick overview of the 3rd chapter. It was still pertaining to the offering. And this time, more so the goat offering. And then it end in 3:17. It say, "It shall be a perpetual status for your generations throughout all your dwellings, that ye eat neither fat nor blood." Excuse me. So these status perpetual mean go on and on and on and on. But look so far. Look how far we have come from the word, from the way. Right? And just getting back into the offering, the question was that had asked then and still asked now. If you had to sacrifice a goat, a pigeon, a bullock, whatever you could get your hands on for the atonement of your sins, could you do it? I ain't gonna hold you no longer than that. You know how we do it, man. You gonna fire up, go ahead on the fire up. And with no further ado, let us do what we do. We're going into chapter 4. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a soul shall sin through ignorance against any of the commandments of the Lord concerning things which are not to be done, and shall do against any of them, if the priest that is anointed do sin according to the sin of the people, then let him bring for his sin, which he has sinned, a young bullock without blemish unto the Lord for a sin offering. And he shall bring the bullock unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before the Lord, and shall lay his hand upon the bullock's head and kill the bullock before the Lord. And the priest that is anointed shall take of the bullock's blood and bring it to the tabernacle of the congregation. And the priest shall dip his finger in the blood and shall sprinkle of the blood 7 times before the Lord, before the veil of the sanctuary. And the priest shall put some of the blood upon the horns of the altar of sweet incense before the Lord, which is in the tabernacle of the congregation, and shall pour all the blood of the bullock at the bottom of the altar of the burnt offering, which is at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And he shall take off from it all the fat of the bullock for the sin offering, the fat that covereth the innards, and all the fat that is upon the innards, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, which is by the flanks, and the cause above the liver with the kidneys, it shall he take away, as it was taken off from the bullock of the sacrifice of peace offerings. And the priest shall burn them upon the altar of the burnt offering. And the skin of the bullock and all his flesh, with his head and with his legs and his innards and his dung, even the whole bullock shall he carry forth without the camp unto a clean place, where the ashes are poured out, and burn him on the wood with fire. Where the ashes are poured out shall he be burnt. And if the whole congregation of Israel sin through ignorance, and the thing be hid from the eyes of the assembly, and they have done somewhat against any of the commandments of the Lord concerning things which should not be done, and are guilty, when the sin which they have sinned against it is known, then the congregation shall offer a young bullock for the sin, and bring him before the tabernacle of the congregation. And the elders of the congregation shall lay their hands upon the head of the bullock before the Lord, and the bullock shall be killed before the Lord. And the priest that is anointed shall bring of the bullock's blood to the tabernacle of the congregation, And the priest shall dip his finger in some of the blood and sprinkle it 7 times before the Lord, even before the veil. And he shall put some of the blood upon the horns of the altar which is before the Lord, that it is in the tabernacle of the congregation, and shall pour out all the blood at the bottom of the altar of the burnt offering, which is at the door of the tabernacle of of the congregation. Let me get a sip of water. And he shall take all his fat from him. We in 19. And he shall take all his fat from him and burn it upon the altar. And he shall do with the bullock as he did with the bullock for a sin offering. So shall he do with this. And the priest shall make an atonement for them, and it shall be forgiven them. And he shall carry forth the bullock without the camp and burn him as he burned the first bullock. It is a sin offering for the congregation. When a ruler has sinned and done somewhat through ignorance against any of the commandments of the Lord his God concerning things which should not be done, and is guilty, or if his sin wherein he has sinned come to his knowledge, he shall bring his offering a kid of the goats, a male without blemish, and he shall lay his head upon the head of the goat, and kill it in the place where they kill the burnt offering before the Lord. It is a sin offering. And the priest shall take of the blood of the sin offering with his finger, and put it upon the horns of the altar of burnt offering, and shall pour out his blood at the bottom of the altar of burnt offering. And he shall burn all his fat upon the altar as the fat of the sacrifice of peace offerings, and the priest shall make an atonement for him as concerning his sin, and it shall be forgiven him. And if any one of the common people sin through ignorance, while he doeth somewhat against any of the commandments of the Lord concerning things which ought not to be done, and be guilty, or if his sin which he has sinned come to his knowledge, then he shall bring his offering, a kid of the goats, a female without blemish for his sin which he has sinned, and he shall lay his hand upon the head of the sin offering, and slay the sin offering in the place of the burnt offering. And the priest shall take of the blood thereof with his finger, and put it upon the horns of the altar of burnt offering, and shall pour out all the blood thereof at the bottom of the altar. And he shall take away all the fat thereof, as the fat is taken away from off the sacrifice of peace offerings. And the priest shall burn it upon the altar for a sweet savor unto the Lord. And the priest shall make an atonement for him, and it shall be forgiven him. And if he bring a lamb for a sin offering, he shall bring it a female without blemish, and he shall lay his hand upon the head of the sin offering, and slay it for a sin offering in the place where they kill the burnt offering. And the priest shall take of the blood of the sin offering with his finger, and put it upon the horns of the altar of burnt offering, and shall pour out all the blood thereof at the bottom of the altar. And he shall take away all the fat thereof, as the fat of the lamb is taken away from the sacrifice of the peace offerings. And the priest shall burn them upon the altar, according to the offerings made by fire unto the Lord. And the priest shall make an atonement for his sin that he hath committed, and it shall be forgiven him. Now, like I said, if this is what you had to do for the atonement of your sin today, would sin still exist? I mean, some people say, yeah, sin gonna still exist, because some people just love being evil. Some people just love being dirty, manipulative, right? But in this manner, it's as wild as it sounds to be sitting up and have to take a goat and slay the goat and let the priest or the pastor get the blood and dip his finger in it and put it on the horns of the altar, and then pour it out at the bottom of the altar, and all this. And I'm not even being as gruesome as the picture that was painted in my head as I was reading. But that's why there had to be, because people could not deal with that. Now, and the thing is, it's still religious today that practice this. But we would say they wrong. But who's to say you right? Who trying to be wrong? Who trying to be right? I ain't trying to be right, and I don't care if I'm wrong. I'm just trying to find truth. And that's what we do here. This is spiritual state. We bring forth the information in a way you've never heard it. And you'll never hear it again. Real life. From somebody that's real, that's living it. That's going through the trials and the tribulations. That they heard all the name calling. Grew up with it. My spiritual journey led me here. Where will your journey take you? I am G, the seeker of truth. This here is spiritual state. And until next time, y'all stay elevated.